Imagine being told that in 2026, a spectacle will appear in the sky that your grandparents never saw, your great-grandparents never witnessed, and in all likelihood, even your future grandchildren will not be able to see. We are talking about a rare astronomical phenomenon occurring approximately once every 8 decades. It was last observed in 1946, and before that in 1866. Looking back, it becomes clear how long ago that was. In 1866, Brazil was still an empire with Dom Pedro I on the throne. The world looked completely different. Electricity had not yet become a part of everyday life, telephones did not exist, and there were no cars on the roads. People traveled on foot or in horse-drawn carriages, and letters could take weeks or even months to reach their destination. And the most amazing part of this story is that to see the upcoming event, you will not need sophisticated equipment or an expensive telescope. Everything can be observed with your own eyes. At some point, a bright dot will ignite in the night sky, as if the cosmos decided to light a new star. We are talking about a system in the constellation Corona Borealis. In reality, it is not a single star, but an object called T Coronii Borealis, TCRB, which may soon flare up again. The term nova often misleads people. It comes from the Latin expression stella nova, meaning new star. This name appeared because it seems to the observer that a new bright star has suddenly appeared in the sky, although in reality it is a temporary flare of an existing system. This system is located approximately 3,000 light-years from Earth. In its normal state, it is extremely faint. Its brightness is about the 10th magnitude, making it impossible to see without a telescope. But when a flare occurs, its brightness increases to the 2nd magnitude, nearly matching the brightness of the North Star. This means it becomes about 1,000 times brighter. You can imagine it like this. A tiny candle burning in a huge dark stadium suddenly turns into a powerful searchlight. There is another amazing point. The flare we might see in 2026 actually happened about 3,000 years ago. It just took all this time for the light to cross cosmic space and reach Earth. Therefore, observing this event, we are effectively looking into the past, to an era when human civilization was just beginning to master metalworking. The question arises, if such phenomena occur in the universe, why is there so much interest? It is because such systems are extremely rare. There are approximately 400 billion stars in our galaxy, yet only about 10 recurrent novae are known. Among them, T Coronii Borealis is considered one of the most predictable. Its flares occur approximately every 80 years. The history of observations confirms this pattern. A bright flare was recorded in 1866, then a similar event occurred in 1946, and now scientists expect the next one around the mid-2020s. The reason for this behavior lies in the structure of the system itself. T Coronii Borealis is a binary star system where two celestial bodies are bound by gravity and constantly interact. One component is a red giant, a huge star with a relatively cool surface. The second component is a white dwarf, the super-dense core of a star that once ended its life cycle. To imagine its density, one can visualize a mass comparable to the Sun squeezed into the size of the Earth. A teaspoon of such matter would weigh tons. Gravity on the surface of a white dwarf is about 100,000 times stronger than on Earth. Under this colossal gravity, the white dwarf gradually pulls hydrogen from the outer layers of its neighboring red giant. This gas settles on its surface and gradually accumulates. Every year, the pressure grows and the temperature rises to millions of degrees until one day, a powerful thermonuclear reaction is triggered. An explosion of colossal force occurs. Its energy can be comparable to the energy of billions of atomic bombs. However, unlike supernovae, such an explosion does not destroy the star itself. It only ejects the accumulated layer of matter into space. After this, the process begins anew. The white dwarf again starts to pull gas from its companion. Matter gradually accumulates, and decades later, another flare occurs. Such a cycle can repeat for millions of years. The earliest known evidence of observing this star dates back to 1217. Back then, a German monk recorded in chronicles that a bright star suddenly appeared in the sky. In that era, people believed the heavens were unchanging and perfect, so the sudden appearance of a new star caused great excitement. Some perceived it as a miracle, others as an ominous sign or a harbinger of the end of the world. After this event, the star was not mentioned for a long almost 6 centuries until 1787, when it was noticed again, though no one yet realized it was the same object. In 1866, another bright flare occurred, and this time astronomers were able to study and document it in detail thanks to the development of science and better instruments. When the system flared up again in 1946, scientists were already able to establish that it was a binary system and suggested that such events occur with a certain periodicity. Based on observations, they made a forecast. The next flare should occur in about 80 years. Events in 2015 to 2016 sparked particular interest. During this period, T Coronae Borealis began to show changes in brightness similar to those observed a year before the 1946 flare. This led astronomers to suggest that the system is again approaching the moment of another energy release. Since then, telescopes and observatories around the world have been monitoring it closely. No one can say exactly when the new flare will occur. It is assumed that it could happen at any moment in the coming years. Some estimates point to the period between February and September 2026. It could happen any night. However, unlike a shooting star that disappears in a fraction of a second, this flare will be visible for several days. The star will become a bright point in the sky and will gradually fade over about a week. Therefore, even if the moment of onset is missed, observers will still have the opportunity to see it. To find this place in the sky, you need to pay attention to the constellation Corona Borealis. One of the easiest ways to navigate is to first find the bright orange star Arcturus, one of the most noticeable stars in the night sky. Not far from it, you can see a chain of stars forming an arc similar to a crown. It is in this area that the T Coronae Borealis system is located. For precise orientation, you can use astronomical applications like Stellarium, Sky Safari, or Starwalk. These programs show the location of stars in real time. Just point your smartphone at the sky. When the flare occurs, such applications will likely notify users quickly. As for equipment, practically none is required. The flare will be visible to the naked eye. Of course, binoculars or a telescope will allow you to see details better, but it is not necessary. The main conditions are a dark sky, no clouds, and knowing the right area of the sky. It is also advisable to let your eyes adjust to the darkness for about 15 to 20 minutes and not look at a bright phone screen. Then you will be able to see more stars. If you want to take a photo, almost any camera with manual settings or even a modern smartphone will do. You will only need a tripod and an exposure of about 5 to 10 seconds. But for scientists, the significance of this event is much deeper than just a beautiful sight. Such systems are unique natural laboratories. They simultaneously manifest processes of nuclear physics, astrophysics, general relativity, and quantum mechanics, all under conditions that cannot be created on Earth. Studying such objects helps to better understand the nature of Type 1a supernovae. These explosions are used by astronomers to measure distances in the universe and played a key role in the discovery of dark energy, a mysterious force that makes up about 68% of all the energy in the cosmos. Furthermore, the elements that make up the human body, carbon, oxygen, iron, were once formed inside stars and then scattered across the galaxy as a result of powerful cosmic explosions. Therefore, one can say that each of us literally consists of stardust. This is why such events are capable of inspiring people. The 1946 flare inspired an entire generation of future astronomers, and it is quite possible that when T Coronae Borealis flares up again in the sky, some child will look up, see this bright dot, and want to understand how the universe works. Perhaps that is how the journey of a new scientist will begin. Once an inconspicuous star will suddenly become one of the bright points of the night sky. It will be the light of an ancient explosion that happened thousands of years ago and only now reached Earth. In this short moment, history, science, and the poetry of the cosmos will merge. And that is why sometimes it is worth just looking up at the night sky. Perhaps at that very moment, the Northern Crown will flare up for us again. Friends, share in the comments, what do you think about this story? If the video was interesting, support us with a like and a subscription to the channel. Until next time.